Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P-Farm, thinking right out here in the lab in the wee hours of the morning, 4:15, doing what I do for you. But I'm in the book. We're going to go through chapter 11, EO 11, the original Ocean's 11. All right, this is the show, a picture. This is judgment. This is the scales. This is the jib pillar from Asar. They call it the backbone. You see him. This is Ptah. He's standing there. But this is the top four. What we worry about. The first three in Masonic order. The first 3 degrees, meaning you're here, over here. But you see here, Ahmed, if you don't pass the third level of the chakras of Mayat, you see what happens? You get eaten. The idea is for you to get all of them, line them up, get to 7. But at least if you get past here, you're in the ball game. At 4, you're in the game. Over here, it starts at 4. From the 4th level up in Masonic order, we call it the red house. The blue house is the first 3. The red house is the next 4. 4, 5th, 6th, or 7th degrees. And I didn't know why they had 7, but everything that's 7 got something to do with the planets, the solar system, the chakra system. So when you hear 7, that's what you're dealing with. Okay, so we're going to deal with the scales of Mayat and the souls of Ra. Right is a 25 rule to live by, storytelling story with the message is always a message in my stories for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do for you. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Mayat be true. All right. I just showed you a picture that says right thinking P-Funk philosophy on the scale of Mayat and the souls of Ra. One side, I show you the soul of Ra, that's Ptah, the top part of the four conscious concepts. And other side, that's the judgment scene that we've been going through for a while. And it shows you here. You see, this is Tahuti. He keeps track of the scale. Usually you have Anubis here watching, but Tahuti does the same thing. All right. But you see right here, Ahmed biting from here down. If you didn't make it past the third level, what you call the beastly nature as humans, you got eaten. So your spirit was moving on. Your consciousness and your body, your heart, your consciousness get eaten by Ahmed. That's the concept. All right. It says, master the fire of the back, the life-giving fire. That's Ra that's inside you. All right. And here we're going to show you again a picture. I'm going to show you the picture. Then I'm going to break it down for you. This is the 7 rings of Mayat. Okay. This is the scale that they go by right here. And you see the other one you had biting the third level. Here we're going to break down for you what they do and what they represent. This is all the mythological concept of making it past Judgment Day to go into the afterlife. It says the 7 powers and the energy centers. I showed you each ring of the scale represents an energy center. There's 7 of them in your lower back. I'll break it down. Yeah, we talked about this many times, so let's go. But we're showing you the weighing of the heart of the deceased against the feather of Mayat. Goddess Mayat. Okay. They got them labeled down here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This was the goddess of Mayat. They stand, and this is I said in that. Okay, that's the Mayate. They're the two twins. They always around when it's funeral processions. That's their job. They oversee everything. Okay, so the goddess F, I just showed you right. She presides over the judgment. But each rung on the figure on the rings, A represents. I just showed you that right here. This is the ring. That's A. Now you're gonna see here. Each one is the energy center. Each one have to be experienced, lit up, so to speak. Have this the serpent power go up and light each one up. And as they go up, your body gets stronger, you get better, and it reaches the seventh level, which is outside of you. Some of them show them inside, but the seventh is the crowning. That's when the lotus flower and your third eye open up, and all of a sudden it just opens up. Everything just skyrockets in the mind. That's enlightening. That's the expression every individual had to have for him or herself. We can describe it, but you have to have it for yourself. All right. So Judgment Day, it represents the chakras, the energy centers again, and the evolution of your heart. How pure was your heart? Remember, selfless acts, righteous living, virtuous things makes the heart pure, makes it light. Harboring deceitful, negative aspect, hidden agenda, those things makes the heart heavy. That's why they did that. Why? If you're living right, it'll show in the heart. That's why. Okay. So they didn't want to talk. No. But and the heart gonna be this heart is weighed by the deceased. And the initiate, and it's against the feather of Maat. But the judgment is presided over by the god Tahuti of wisdom. He just makes sure he describes. He makes sure everything is in order, everything is right. And down here, you see Anubis is keeping track of the scales here, right? Right there. So where's Tahuti? Right here. Him and Maat actually become the scales of justice, right? They represent it that way. And as the baboon form, he just sits on top of the scale and makes sure everything is going right. That's his job. That's him at the top of the scale. And they had this thing all figured out. See him at the top up here? Okay, the baboon? Yeah. All right. So, and what they're showing you, they're going to break it down and explain it to you as best they could. I'm going to do is try to give it to you again. But Tahuti represents your wisdom faculty. And you have to have that all the time. When Ra travels, he travels with Maat, which is, she opens the way. She's justice, order and chaos. That's what Maat represents. And wisdom is your thinking right ability. That's Tahuti. And they weigh that against the heart. Why? The baboon represents Tahuti this time. But in C, you see Anubis is there keeping control of the situation. So in the ancient mythology, there existed a concept of what they call 7 vortices of energy in the subtle spine. We call the suffix Ba Ra, meaning the 7 souls of Ra. Again, energy centers. But in India, it's more properly known as the chakras. Okay, Kundalini, the serpent goes up. They're like little lights. Every time the serpent go by, he light it up. He go up, he light it up. Every time he go up, the more righteous you do, the more Kundalini rises until you become third eye conscious. And in the beginning, we had Neter was 1. Neter, singular 1. And then through the power of thought, the power of words, okay? The power of thought, he became 3. This is the Holy Trinity of God. This is how you create the pyramid. This is why the pyramid represents God. What is this? The thought, the feeling, and the action. They all come together to create a whole. That's the Trinity. And for these 3 came what we call the uncountable number of Neters, which through the extension of their consciousness, your mental thought and power, okay, creates and projection of an illusion, which we call creation. We're living in God's illusion, his world, but we're part of it. Why? We're part of God. That's why. But these are what they call the souls of Ra, a.k.a. Haru, the spirit that's in me. Yeah, I just gave that lesson. Well, I like this. I'm taking through the book. I'm walking through the book. I hope you're paying attention. So the Netters is what sustain and govern all creation. Remember, Shu is air, Tefnut is moisture, Ra is the sun, Geb is the earth, Nut is heaven. Those are the 5 elements, earth, wind, and fire. And again, elements. 6 is Asar, human, beast, man. That's right. But it ain't negative. It ain't bad. What if they don't do right now? But okay, that's what govern creation. Those elements in which through what thought power. There are 7 levels of creation, which many sub-levels in each. So there's different layers to this. Okay, cool. So there are a total of 7 levels of consciousness. We said 3, but remember, that's just to get you started. The next 4 is the advanced consciousness, like the Masonic order. The first 3 get you in the blue house. You know a little something, but you ain't really ready. Why? You gotta go higher and become conscious of what it is you got. That's why. So that's 7 again. Okay, 7 being the highest of consciousness. The task is then now for you to obtain and master the 7 individual energy centers inside you of consciousness that's inside all human beings, and with the 7 powers of the universe, aka planets. We know that now. God, through wisdom and virtue and righteousness, the knowledge of the attainment of wisdom and the virtue and righteousness are encompassed in what we know to be the 42 confessions, precepts of Maat. Some call it negative confessions, some call it precepts. Whatever it is, it's a blueprint for you to increase your character to be a better person. When I first got it over 30 years ago, I wasn't in the ballpark. I felt bad. I said, dude, you ain't. Now I'm proficient. So I know the change been made because I practiced and I mastered them for myself, which are the multiples of 7. Everything is 7. 7 years it takes for your ego to become you. In the first 7 years of your life, that's it. Then the next 7, you go to adolescence. The next 7, third 7, you go to adulthood. And then you go to mastery, and then grand mastery at the 42. You should be, at that age, you should be well adapted who you are. You should have knowledge of self. You should be conscious of everything you need to know about yourself. Hence, know thyself. And they gave you the blueprint. And the 42 books of Hermes, aka Tahuti, which also contain the knowledge of nature, of the universe, which is also the subject of this book. We're doing it right now. The psychic energy centers, which are located in your spinal body, your spiritual body, which is the nervous system and the cardiovascular system inside the physical body. And it runs parallel to your spinal column, Jacob's ladder, okay, the serpent, okay. And the energy centers are 7 centers of expanded levels of consciousness. I'm going to break that down to you in a minute. We can go through each one. And when I was teaching Masonic order, they said, how long would it take to be a master mason? I said, 3 years. Why so long? Because every year, it takes you 1 year to master each degree. And for the chakra system, they took 1 year for each chakra. Each level, you had to master it. You had to master it before you got to the next one. And so they knew by the time you got to the 7th level, you were good to go. Laying it out for you. I'm going to have that for you too. Let's go. So now from the base of your spine. What is that right here? Okay, we got a picture of it somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Well, no, that's not the picture. Yeah, I use this one. See, they say in the chakras, they go from the base of your spine, right here. This is the physical body. From the first one is the space, the bottom of the spine. Second one is the genital area, right there. Okay. Third is the solar plexus, right in the middle. Okay. And the 4th one, once you get past this one, this is the ego. This is the ego self. This is sexual. This is fight or flight. These levels are instinctive, beastly. Animals survive on them. So human being, that should not be the level you living off of. So they're showing you. After that, you wake up your heart conscious. You show empathy, compassion for others. You makaru, you speaking the truth from the heart, and you become conscious of yourself with the 6th, third eye, spiritual eye, opening up. These are all ways to become conscious, to become God-like in the flesh. It's practiced all in India, and everybody did it in Egypt. We call it serpent power. Same thing. We call it kundalini, the chakras. Same thing. Said different, but it means the same thing to get you to what? Know yourself. All right? So the concept here is your animal beastly nature, which is the first 3 levels, the physical animal consciousness, that's represented by Ra is light, right? What's the opposite of light? Dark. Apophis is what try to keep Ra from shining. That's ignorance. He represents total ignorance. He don't want nothing to be going on. He wanted to go back to just nothing. He don't like people. He don't like noise. He don't like light. He anti everything. But that's Apophis. That's the not the ego. Remember, the ego is inside you. Apophis is what's going on at the next level within you. Okay, and that's what the top of the spiritual consciousness. Okay, you have to conquer that serpent inside you. That what anti what's good for you. You got to defeat the ego. He represents the ego inside you. And at the crown of the head, that's the seventh chakra level, you get the Uraeus, the Buto. The Buto is a serpent with wings and a crown. That's Haru. That's the original Haru, the spirit, okay? But as in India, they use it, they call it the chakra system. But in Egyptian, we have it the seven powers, or we call it the Shechem or serpent power. They are related of the seven energy centers, same thing of the spine, and they are linked to what we call awakening of one's spiritual powers. This thing got power. Once you use it, awaken it, woo, Nelly. One progresses on their spiritual path of evolution to enlightenment. That's what I'm taking you through. I'm trying to walk you through this. Now you're the initiate. I'm trying to hold your hand, take you through like Anubis take you through the afterlife. I'm taking you through this life. All right. So now while either you're purposely employing your spiritual discipline, you have to use it by what? Studying. And once you study the application of your spiritual philosophical scriptures, you should, first of all, reflect on it and then take it into meditation. Ding, 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 ding. That's where I dwell. That's the high level that you can reach inside yourself. That's what Moses went to Mount Sinai. Moses went into meditation, connected with God. He wanted to see God's face. I heard that lesson this morning. I don't know why it's on my mind. But the stories y'all tell, y'all don't really understand that book. Y'all really don't understand the Bible. Nobody says that Moses went meditated. Why? That's what he went to Mount Sinai represent. He went up to what? Within himself, the upper room, his consciousness, meditation. Jesus Christ. And once you do that, you are learning through what? This process of what we know to be trial and error. You try to see what happens. But also, you have these senses that will what? Automatically, your chakras, once the serpent activated, once you start living right, that activate the serpent. You went from fight or flight to sexual urges to the ego, and now it's still rising. Now, once you go to the fourth, compassion, empathy for others, you become a different person. I got cats. I ain't never been a damn pet lover. That fourth chakra changed all of that. I mean, these are my kids. My kids is grown. I got grandkids, but my cats is my kids. Moving on. That's just a different lifestyle. Okay, different how you change again. Okay, but they automatically open. Why? If you're living right, and that was what's allowing you to have your experience of what? Increasing your communion with what? Your higher self, aka God. I talk to God not in prayer. Internally, I don't verbally say a word. I talk to him inside my mind, and I hear people say that my pastor says God downloads information to him. Okay, I call it meditating. I do it every day. Okay, he called it download information. It's a process, but this process is how one raises their spiritual knowledge and understanding and increase their spiritual power. And this may be accomplished how? By total concentration, focus, and proper breathing, meditation. That's how. On everything that you learn, everything you think, you meditate on the meaning of the scriptures, the symbols, and you're surrendering to what? The will of your higher power. Ain't that what Islam means? Surrender to God, whatever. We done that. We got that concept too. That's not new. I got the Islam lesson coming up for you next, where I got y'all information. I'm gonna break it down for y'all. For all y'all Muslims who think, no, I got you. Don't worry about it. All right. But you commune, you surrender to your higher self. I've been telling you that, let your conscience be your God. Listen to your heart. Let the conscience and heart become one, and you won't go wrong. These techniques is what will allow you, the individual, to be able to transform your waking personality, ego self, so that now one may be able to discover their innermost higher self. Your potential as Haru is to become godlike in you. That's where God dwells. Find him inside yourself. And God, this should be done. How? Under the guidance of a qualified master teacher or spiritual master, guru, sage, or saint. Hello, I'm a sage. So I'm doing what sages do. Help you to what? Master you. That's what we do. I'm not a guru yet. I'm working on the mystic concept. Why? I don't have enough masters that I made yet, so I can't say that. But I'm working on getting you to the level of mastery so that it's raise my level of being a guru. Why? I'm showing you how to master you. I'm gonna stop right now because I see 20 minutes. I'm about to go to the gym. I'm gonna come back. We're gonna go into the 7 energy centers, the Safak Bara, meaning the 7 souls of Ra, or Safak Uja, meaning the 7 serpent goddesses. Okay, the serpent power, that's the female aspect. When there's 2, SR, and that's it. Okay, so right thinkers, in closing, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. So I've never done my right thinkers who now understand the 7 powers and the energy centers. We're about to get into the chakras, the 7 souls of Ra. And, Maat and Ra have passed away. This is good stuff. Hope you're getting it. I'll be right back.